The sharp smack against my face brought instant quiet to the whole boutique. My sister Nicole's sparkling diamond ring flashed in the light as her palm completed its swift swing. Just a second before, I had been offering her a fine lace veil. Now a hot sting throbbed across my cheek where she had struck me with enough force to freeze every member of her wedding group in stunned silence. "Get out," she whispered fiercely, her tone quiet yet sharp enough to reach every ear. "You're making me look bad in front of all these people." The boutique's bright overhead lights felt suddenly harsh. All eyes fixed on me while I stood surrounded by gowns priced in the thousands, one hand cradling my flushed cheek. Women I hardly recognized, Nicole's friends, our distant cousins, averted their gazes uncomfortably, suddenly very interested in seams and embroidery details. Only our mother looked straight at me, her face showing not worry but a clear signal, "Don't cause more trouble." Yet under the shame heating my chest lay something sharper and steadier, because my sister had no clue, nor did anyone else, that the platinum card tucked inside her luxury handbag belonged to me. The $24,000 venue booking fee for her dream location, the photographer's deposit, the catering upfront payment, the personalized invitations, every dollar had come straight from my own savings. I squared my posture, brushed the edge of my eye to stop any tears from falling, and moved silently toward the door. The moment the boutique entrance shut behind me, my phone was already out, banking application loaded, thumb poised above the option to cancel card. "My name is Lily. I'm 28, and I work as a hospital administrator. This is the account of how I quit bankrolling another person's dream wedding and began building my own future." Outside on the sidewalk, Saturday crowds moved busily past, completely unaware of the scene that had unfolded moments earlier. I stepped into a calm corner next to a shop window and finished the action I'd begun. 3 quick presses and my sister's complete wedding fund disappeared. The display showed the update clearly: card cancelled successfully. Through the boutique's large front glass, I had a clear line of sight inside. Nicole remained posed on the raised platform, gazing lovingly at the gown sparkling with crystals, its price tag higher than my entire vehicle. Our mother stood close by, neither of them realizing what had just occurred. The sales associate walked over carrying a tablet, prepared to finalize the transaction. I stayed put, pulse racing hard against my ribs. Nicole passed my card across with the easy confidence of someone who had never once concerned herself with finances. More precisely, someone who had never concerned herself with my finances. I observed the associate swipe the card once, then a second time, her polite expression beginning to crack. She leaned in and murmured something to Nicole, whose features shifted rapidly from puzzlement to utter shock. "What do you mean it was declined?" Her words traveled clearly through the window. "That's not possible. Run it one more time." The associate shook her head slowly and indicated the tablet's display. Nicole spun toward our mother, her flawless cosmetics failing to mask the rising alarm. Next, the boutique manager stepped forward, his courteous demeanor giving way to visible irritation as he reached out for the dress Nicole still gripped tightly. I ought to have experienced remorse. Instead, seeing my sister's stunned expression as her perfect vision collapsed felt like fresh air after being trapped underwater for far too long. I captured a screenshot of the cancellation notice and turned to leave. My phone began buzzing before I had walked even 2 blocks. First mother, then Nicole, then mother once more. I rejected every call, quieting the relentless vibrations while I made my way to the bus stop. 20 minutes later I reached my apartment, turning the lock with a deep sense of resolution. For the first time, I refused to play the role of family rescuer, the dependable one, the walking cash machine they had all exploited without a second thought. From childhood onward, Nicole had always held the spotlight as our parents' preferred child, the more attractive one, the livelier one, the one destined for greatness. While she enjoyed college parties funded by our parents, I took night shifts to cover my own tuition. When she pursued fashion and launched 3 unsuccessful boutique ventures, they supplied the capital. When I completed my master's degree in healthcare administration, they skipped the ceremony entirely. Yet strangely, the moment Nicole became engaged to Trevor, a finance professional from a wealthy family facing short-term liquidity problems, I suddenly became the expected source of support. What began as a modest loan for the engagement celebration quickly grew into an endless stream of wedding costs, all charged to my accounts. "It's temporary, just until Trevor's year-end bonus arrives," Nicole had assured me 4 months earlier.
Anyway, you aren't really doing anything special with that money.
That nothing special referred to the deposit I had planned for my own place, a goal postponed indefinitely so I could keep sponsoring hers.
The following morning brought 27 missed calls and 16 unread messages to my phone.
I reviewed them while drinking coffee, each one growing more frantic than the previous. 10:15 a.m. Mom, the boutique contacted us.
What happened to the card? 10:22 a.m. Nicole, resolve this immediately. 10:47 a.m. Mom, Nicole is heartbroken. How could you humiliate us this way? 11:30 a.m. Nicole, the venue says they'll cancel. This stopped being amusing. 12:10 p.m. Mom, your father is extremely upset. Contact us right now. 1:05 p.m. Nicole, Trevor's family is starting to inquire. You're destroying everything for me.
The last message came at 3:42 a.m. Fix it by tomorrow or don't expect an invitation to the wedding. I actually
laughed aloud reading that. Without my funding, no wedding would take place anyway. Right on schedule, my phone rang with an unfamiliar number.
I paused briefly, then picked up.
Is this Lily Winters?
The voice belonged to a man, polite yet tense.
Yes, who is this?
This is Marcus calling from Grand Heritage Venue. We're attempting to contact Nicole Winters about her current balance of $32,450, which is due immediately. Her phone routes directly to voicemail, and she provided your name as a secondary contact. I shut my eyes, imagining the grand ballroom Nicole had chosen so carefully. Elegant crystal chandeliers, polished marble flooring, space for 300 guests. She had declared it non-negotiable.
I'm afraid I'm no longer handling any financial aspects of my sister's wedding, Marcus. I understand.
His manner softened just a touch. If you happen to speak with her, kindly inform her that failure to receive today's payment will require us to release the reservation to someone else. We currently have 3 other couples waiting for an opening. I'll make sure she hears that. Once the call ended, I blocked both my parents' and Nicole's numbers, then powered my phone off entirely. After years of carrying it, the heavy burden of endless family duty finally slipped away from me. I passed the day strolling through the park and treating myself to a meal at a charming cafe I had always considered too pricey. The contrast struck me clearly. Later that evening, back inside my apartment, I switched my phone on again and discovered a voicemail waiting from a familiar contact.
Trevor, Nicole's fiancé.
Lily, this is Trevor.
Everything is chaos right now.
Nicole claims you canceled a card and now the whole plan is collapsing.
I'm completely lost about what's happening. My parents keep pressing me for explanations I don't have. Could you please reach out?
His bewilderment came through sincerely.
Instead of phoning, I composed a reply message. Trevor, Nicole informed everyone that your family
was handling the wedding expenses. The truth is I've covered it all using my own credit cards. After she slapped me publicly yesterday, I canceled them. I'm finished acting as her hidden source of funds.
His answer arrived almost instantly. Hold on, what?
She told us it was your parents paying. The chain reaction moved quicker than I had expected. By the next morning the matter had spiraled far beyond Nicole's power to control. Trevor's parents, established wealth with deep city ties, uncovered the shaky financial structure after pressing Trevor about my message and reaching out to the venue themselves.
A text arrived from one of Nicole's bridesmaids, a cousin. OMG, what is going on?
Trevor's mom is informing people that Nicole fabricated the story about who was funding the wedding. His grandmother is livid. I saw no need to reply.
Reality was handling the exposure perfectly on its own. 3 days following the boutique event, Trevor's mother phoned me personally.
Her tone remained composed and refined, almost regal. Lily, this is Margaret Hamilton. I would appreciate a clear explanation of the situation surrounding my son's wedding payments. I shared the full details without holding back, months of covering charges, repeated unfulfilled assurances, and the public slap that finally ended my patience. She remained silent throughout.
I understand, she stated once I concluded. Thank you for being straightforward.
The Hamilton family places the highest importance on integrity.
It appears my prospective daughter-in-law does not hold the same principle. The day after, Trevor reached out. His voice sounded empty.
The wedding has been cancelled.
My parents met with Nicole earlier today.
He trailed off, searching for the right phrasing. They explained they could not bring someone into our family who constructed a relationship based on deception.
I stayed quiet. No response was necessary.
Has she always behaved this way?
He asked at last. Did I overlook warning signs?
She has always been treated as the family's golden child, I replied.
And someone has always borne the cost of keeping her there. We have officially ended things, Trevor continued after a pause. I gave back the ring yesterday. The bonus I anticipated at work actually arrived last week.
However, it fell far short of covering the commitments she had made.
I never realized the full extent of what she had promised. The morning that was meant to host Nicole's ceremony arrived sunny and beautiful.
Rather than vows, the Hamilton family publicly declared a generous contribution to a community education nonprofit, described in society pages as a thoughtful adjustment to previously scheduled matrimonial plans. Nicole had returned to our parents' residence and refused to emerge from her bedroom. My mother's messages, sent now from fresh numbers I hadn't yet blocked, swung wildly between fury and emotional begging.
She's completely broken. Her future is destroyed. How could you treat your sister this way? Later messages carried a different tone.
I ignored them both. 6 weeks after the event we now referred to as the boutique incident, I signed paperwork for the apartment lease I had postponed because of Nicole's wedding. While arranging belongings in a home that truly belonged to me at last, my phone received a message from an unknown contact.
It's Trevor. I wanted to express gratitude.
Not because of what occurred with Nicole, that remains difficult, but because you revealed the reality before I committed to a lifelong error.
I hope life is treating you kindly.
I returned the phone to the table with a small smile, leaving the message unanswered. Nearby on my coffee table rested several program pamphlets. Advanced studies in hospital administration, goals I had set aside to support someone else's ambitions. That night I stepped onto my modest balcony, gazing down at the city park where families wandered peacefully. My sister had lost her fiancé, her grand celebration, and the polished persona she had so carefully maintained. My parents had lost the perfect conclusion they envisioned for their favored daughter. Nicole now faced responsibility for the outstanding vendor debt she had accumulated, although I suspected our parents would step in to rescue her as usual.
And myself?
I had acquired something I hadn't fully appreciated until now. My independence, recovered through the simple act of pressing cancel on a single card. Sometimes asserting your worth doesn't demand dramatic actions or complex plots.
Sometimes it consists merely of ceasing.
Ceasing the financial support, ceasing the constant giving, ceasing the habit that diminishes you so others can shine brighter.
The fallout? That rests with them.
Before you leave, here's a small extra for staying until the end.
If personal development and knowledge excite you the way they do me, audiobooks are worth exploring.
I have a special offer through Audible. Your initial month comes at no charge.
That unlocks access to more than 500,000 selections, completely free. Full information appears in the description below. Take advantage while it's available.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a twist. Stay tuned to Reddit Tales Times for your daily dose of drama, laughs, and unbelievable stories.